Welcome to FixedOPS 5. I'm your host, Corey Smith. Alongside me today, I am honored with Russell Hill, who's the co-founder of FixedOPS Marketing. Russell, thanks for being a part of the show today.
Corey, thanks for having me. Hello, everybody. Glad to be here.
We've got a really good topic for this episode, but before we get into it, Russell, tell me what FixedOPS Marketing is or what they do.
Well, what we essentially do is we're pulling dealerships' websites for service parts and accessories out of the 20th century and pulling them into the 21st century and educating consumers with options, ways to convert, and through video technology. All of our coupons have embedded videos to explain those premium services types of things.
Wow, that's really cool. I like that a lot. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
So today's topic, we're really going to talk about marketing to that customer. And with the chip shortage that's going on right now in the market, how can dealerships make up that lost revenue? Because eventually they're going to run out of cars to sell, correct?
Well, they are. As a matter of fact, it's really getting ugly now. If you're a GM or owner of a store, the last few months you've made probably historical profits, and fixed operations is doing really well too. But things are fixing to change, and it's going to be well into 2022 before things start to turn around and come back. I was recently talking to a friend of mine. Normally, he's a fixed ops director at a big Ford store in Florida, and they normally stock 12 to 1,400 units, a 90-day supply. Okay, they got 6 units on the ground.
Wow.
And so they don't have anything left to sell. They're doing all they can, just like everybody is, for used cars, to pull in used cars, and they're all paying through the nose for it. But fixed operations is flooded right now. It's summer. COVID restrictions are lightening up. People are wanting, people want to get out and travel and do things. So naturally, they're bringing their cars in for service. So we need to be ready for the onslaught, and it's already started.
So you think that lost revenue can be made up into the service department itself?
I absolutely do. Through many different channels. Probably, we could talk for hours on all the different ways they can do that. But mostly it's by finding things or doing things at the same time and increase efficiencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can the dealer leadership team do to get more business? Do they have, a hot dog, customer appreciation day where they do like a barbecue? Is it doing a mass mailer like we used to do back in the day? I mean, what in your mind can they do to get more business through the door?
Well, this is my experience. Okay. I'm just going to spout some national numbers here. So I don't even think, at least right now, it's about getting more business. I think there's plenty of business coming through the service departments. At least, I talk to dealerships all over the country. Mm-hmm. They're doing really well. That's not the challenge. The challenge is that 75% of people that are rolling into service department, particularly right now, are there for oil changes or oil change, rotate and balance. I think it's imperative right now to focus on saving time, increasing efficiencies, but it's about creating more lines per RO with the existing clients that are coming in, not necessarily chasing inactive customers, et cetera, although that's fine. And there's a time and place for that. Right now, it's like carpe diem, right? Seize the day. We have to do everything we can through training and other types of efficiencies and marketing to help educate the consumer and help the advisors and technicians in ways where they can, upsell, if it's inappropriate, not just to upsell somebody that doesn't need to be upsold, but I mean, if you're doing proper NPIs and communicating with the customer and building the right kind of relationships, it shouldn't be a problem. 56% of all ROs are one-liners with those 75% of people that are coming through for oil changes. So let's help them create an additional 2 or 3 lines. How's that?
Yeah, if you can focus on one thing, and that I think that can start with training.
Right.
That can start with doing some homework before next days of business, going through the next day's ROs today, and saying that, okay, these 5 customers haven't had an alignment in over a year. Right. I can talk to them about that. So when they do come in for that oil change and tire rotation, it's educating that customer.
Exactly.
Okay, so I agree with that. I think that's so much more time well spent going with taking the customers that are already coming in. I love that. I love what you said there, as opposed to, going out and getting lost customers or trying to send out a mass mailer, which can cost some money, right?
Yeah, well, it costs money, but think about it. I'm not saying it's this way all over the country, but with the dealerships that I'm talking to, they got plenty of people coming in and they go, well, Russell, we're not interested in more traffic. We can't even handle the people we got. I know. So let's focus on creating additional lines per hour. How can we do that? Things that will save you time and increase efficiencies and help your advisors out by helping educate the consumer. And one way to do that is through video technology. I mean, Variable has everything. They have all the
They really
technology,
do.
all the widgets. But if you look at websites today with service parts and accessories, it's like an afterthought. I
Right.
mean, there's still pictures of scissors cutting out a dotted line, or there's no coupons there at all. Those aren't really educating the consumer. And there's a handful of coupons. But what about brakes and repairs and diagnostics and alignments and tires? Tires is a big thing. Tires
Yeah.
is a huge thing, right? To stop that bleeding that happens at 36 months where they start defecting, right?
Right. No, I think you're right on right there. Before we wrap up this episode, uh, wouldn't you agree that the past few years have changed the industry quite a bit, and even this pandemic has changed the industry lightning speeds from what I thought was going to happen. So, how can a dealership really adapt to the new age customer, the Gen Ys? How do they communicate with those people, and how do they get them to keep buying from them and speak their language? In your mind?
That's a that's a great question, especially with all the younger people that are coming into the market. We need to. Well, I would say that after 36 years in this business, that at any other single point in history, in my experience, today there's more technologies and innovative ways, some of which don't really do the fixed operation side of things very good because it requires somebody to do something or multiple people to do something. So it doesn't really save time. And the next thing you know, they're not managing it. It's not producing the results that they were. So I would say that it's really important today to pick and choose as fixed ops people, dealerships, et cetera, pick and choose. There's Zoom. Everything has changed since COVID.
Yeah.
Everything. I took a few notes here. People have changed, technology has changed, the economy has changed, shopping has changed, the market has changed, and what people want and how they want it has changed in the last year and a half. I'm
Yeah.
talking about from pickup and delivery to antiviral, antimicrobial wipe downs, first responder, type stuff. These are things that we adapted to during COVID. They're not going away.
Correct.
They're not
Yeah.
going away. So as dealers, people, like myself, I'm a vendor and I've been on the other side as well for 16 years running dealerships. There's a lot of technology out there. And here's what it boils down to, Corey, three things. What is it? What does it do? What's in it for me?
Right.
And I implore you to get enough information to be able to make an intelligent or informed decision about what you may say yes or no to. So I would say, you can't look at everything, right? You can't. You wouldn't get anything done. So look at the things that save time and increase efficiency that don't require a lot of management through automation.
No, I like that because sometimes, the path of least resistance could give you more results.
That's
So
right.
I really like where you're going with that, is that, find what works for you in your marketplace. And you can read some of those studies. I know JD Power has a lot of them. Cox Auto
Yeah.
has a lot of those studies to really look at what that customer really, how they want to do their shopping. Some of
Yes.
them want to have a vending machine where they can go and order the car that they want, have it dropped off to them. And I think you're right. Service on the service end, it's not going to change. The customer wants their vehicle picked up. They want it disinfected before they get it back. They want to know where it is. And I think having somebody pick up their vehicle and then that person watching it on an app going, okay, it's going from my house and there it is at the dealership. Almost like that app for where's my pizza, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that brings up caused me to think about, consumers today. And everybody wants all of us are online shoppers more than any other single time in history. They're coming to your website. They're looking for things. Now, we know that the specials content page in your top level nav is where all 4 of your profit centers are located, new and used, and parts and service. You need to have something there. Whatever it is you have there, take a look at it. If it's not engaging or enticing to you, trust me, it's not to your customers either. I call it the 3-click rule. We're all this way. If you think about it, after 3 clicks, if you don't find what you're looking for, exponentially, those exit rates go up with every click. You'd be astounded by the numbers on the 4th and 5th click. How many people leave? So you need to be able to deliver the right content, the right message with the right time. And in my opinion, technology has revolutionized and changed so much that it's customers, particularly the younger generation, and the older generation. I mean, how many of you, of course, I can't see everybody raise their hands, but when I got a problem in my house, I'm a YouTube guy. I go to YouTube. I can just about fix anything or prepare, at least cut down on the time it would take to run back and forth to Home Depot or Lowe's or, whatever. So I would say that, and then not only that, but people aren't just printing and scheduling service. I mean, everybody wants people to schedule service, but statistically, 21% of people nationally do that. So how are they engaging the customers online? Through video content. That's exactly how it's being done. And they're saying by next year, now, 6 months away, that 82% of all consumption will be video-based consumption. So these are the things that we should all be looking to increase efficiencies, give our advisors some technology that they can use to send video content to their customers, either while they're in the waiting room, before a scheduled appointment, and or maybe after a declined op or something like that.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's great.
Yeah.
So we're almost out of time here with the podcast and this episode, but what are 3 takeaways in your mind that an agent, a service person, or a dealer can learn from this episode?
Embrace technology. Guard your time wisely. Look at things that, like I mentioned earlier, I thought was really good. When any dealer or fixed ops person is being pitched anything, and a lot of it's online today. So, and here we are. What is it? What does it do? And what's in it for me? And here's what I know about anybody in the automotive industry, because we've all been there that are listening to this right now or watching this. And that is that if it doesn't save me time, I'm out. I'm not interested. Okay. Right. If it's another thing that I have to do, if it's another username and login of the 15 I have, and I only use 3 of them, I'm really not interested in taking a look today. So what is really going on out there? And keep in mind, an opportunity is not an opportunity when everybody thinks it is an opportunity. They've already missed it. So that's what we specialize in, is video marketing, content marketing, SEO, Google My Business, and short little, very educational YouTube and or videos that the consumers can watch. So when they come to a website, they don't just see 3 coupons. They'll see a category for brakes or tires and alignments or batteries and brakes, etc. Those are the things consumers are looking for. And if they're there, and you capture their attention, they're going to stay on that page longer. And if you give them multiple ways to convert other than just a print or a scheduled service, which nobody really even tracks, I think that is one niche of many things we could talk about, but we don't have time today, that would really help in the fixed ops department.
I love your 3 takeaways, Russell. Appreciate you being on this episode.
Thank you very
Russell
much.
Hill, co-founder of FixedOPS Marketing. Thank you for taking the time. I ask every guest this. Will you please come back?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks, Corey.
If anyone has any questions that is listening or watching this podcast, feel free to send me an email at csmith@nationalautocare.com. Questions, comments, if you want to be a guest on the show or have us talk about some topics, we're certainly willing to do that. The next podcast will come out on the 20th. Russell, have a wonderful rest of your week. And again, really appreciate you being a part of this podcast.
Corey, thank you. And thank you everybody for listening and watching out there. Make it a great day.